If you stumble across a magic lamp or uncover a recipe for a love potion, the modern instinct is to see an opportunity. We view the magical shortcut as a way to bypass hard work and get exactly what we want. Step back into the folklore where these ideas actually originated, and that opportunity looks a lot more like a threat. In the ancient world, getting exactly what you ask for is widely considered the worst possible fate. Traditional oral narratives don't hand out magical shortcuts to reward ambition. They use the supernatural as a trap, designed to expose human impatience and foolishness. So how exactly do these entities operate? What are the hidden rules of these supernatural contracts, and why do they so consistently punish the people who try to exploit them? To find out, we have to look at the ultimate archetype of the cursed wish, the legend of King Midas. According to Greek mythology, Midas was a king of Phrygia who entertained a companion of the god Dionysus. Offered a reward for his hospitality, Midas asked that whatever he touched would change into pure gold. Dionysus grants the wish, and the horror is immediate. The supernatural delivers exactly what is requested, with zero human nuance or mercy. Midas quickly realizes his blessing is a prison. When he tries to eat, his food hardens. His water turns to metal. The myth even tells us that when he reaches out to comfort his daughter, his touch turns her into a flawless, dead statue. This is the literal trap. The magic uses the wisher's own greed as the weapon, transforming a desire for total perfection into a direct sentence of starvation. Now, let's step slightly away from Midas and look at ancient Greek theater to see the second rule in action. In Sophocles' play Women of Trachis, we find a prime example of the love spell gone wrong. The character Deianira is desperate to secure the eternal love of her husband, the hero Heracles. To do this, she follows the dying advice of a centaur named Nessus, collecting his spilled blood to use as a magical charm. The charm works, but through a gruesome loophole. Heracles puts on a garment soaked in the blood, and the magic ensures his eternal devotion by burning him alive in agonizing pain. The supernatural entity always obeys the strict letter of the law while entirely subverting the wisher's intent. When humans try to force an emotional outcome, the result is destruction. Returning to Midas, we see a third rule emerge. After finally curing himself of the golden touch, the king foolishly judges a musical contest against the god Apollo. As punishment for his poor taste, Apollo gives Midas the ears of a donkey. Desperate to hide this unnatural shame, Midas covers his head with an elaborate turban. Only his barber knows the truth, and he is sworn to strict secrecy under threat of death. But the burden of the secret is too heavy. The barber whispers the truth into a hole in the dirt. Soon after, reeds sprout from that spot, broadcasting the words, "King Midas has an ass's ears," to the wind. Whether it's Midas's ears or similar Celtic tales like the spectral bridegroom, the pattern holds. You cannot suppress the unnatural. The truth of our human flaws will always surface and spread. All of these myths serve as potent warnings, but to understand why they were created in the first place, we have to look at the archaeological reality. King Midas was a real person, an 8th century BCE Phrygian monarch, known in Assyrian texts as King Mita of the Mushki. His civilization actually existed. These are the stone foundation ruins of the ancient Phrygian capital, Gordion, located in modern-day Turkey. The Phrygians left behind massive physical markers to honor their kings, like the Midas Monument, a towering geometric facade carved directly into the volcanic rock. And we even know the true historical source of his supposed golden touch. Midas's dynasty amassed staggering wealth by utilizing early coinage made from electrum, a natural alloy of gold and silver sourced from local rivers. The real Midas didn't die of starvation surrounded by gold. Historical accounts and archaeological evidence suggest he committed suicide by drinking toxic bull's blood after his capital was sacked by Cimmerian invaders. His legacy remains anchored to the landscape. This massive earthen mound at Gordion, standing over 50 meters tall, was excavated in the 1950s and contains a royal wooden tomb dating to his era, likely that of Midas's father. Ancient cultures observed the immense wealth and sudden downfalls of their most powerful figures and projected human anxieties onto them. The legend of King Midas endures because it reminds us that the true curse is rarely the magic itself. The curse is our own impatience and greed.